Now, the big thing that I think most, at least good faith arguments about this, were mad about was the price of the games. Now, people have been talking about the price increases for video games for about a year and some change now. I believe last year there was this weird announcement, a weird rumor going on Twitter that GTA 6 was going to be $100. And people have been kind of like reacting over, to that for years now. And so now that Nintendo has upped the price of games to $80, yeah, it looks like we're getting much closer to that $100 price tag per game. But the thing is, the thing you have to realize is there are two big things that go into why this is happening. One, I will explain a little bit later, but one of the main reasons is the price of making games. The price of making games has gone up significantly over the years, okay? Like, I believe some people were saying that the price of, like, Spider-Man was, like, $300-400 million, okay? All right, the price of Call of Duty Cold War, $700 million. That is almost $750 million to make a video game. Putting that in perspective, most Marvel movies cost between $180 to $250 million. All right, Call of Duty Cold War cost almost 3 Marvel movies. That's crazy. All right, that means that the entire trilogy of a Marvel movie, like look at like the Ant-Man trilogy or the Captain America trilogy, okay? That is the price of one video game. Okay, so of course the price of video games have to go up. Now the only way you can keep this from happening is one of two ways, or one of three ways, to be honest. One way would be to find alternate ways to make money outside of the base price of the game. So you sell the game for $70, but then you have like a battle pass that people can buy, that you can make additional money, so that this way you can afford to sell the game at a possible loss, or to make up that $300-400 million quicker, so you can get to the green. You know, or you sell DLC, or you sell microtransactions, loot boxes, all that stuff that people hate. You know, the second way would be to reduce the cost of making games, so reduce the quality of games, which they've done that already because games already come out like garbage now. They do, you know what I'm saying? But this is partially because they rush games, because the longer they take to make games, the more expensive they're going to be. But when I mean reduce the quality, they have to aim lower. All right, so we can't have as many like hyper realistic, like cinematic looking games. You have to aim a little bit lower so that things can be cheaper. All right, you know what I'm saying? Move away from the 4K HDR God rays Uber 35,000 teraflop blah blah blah. You have to move away from all that and make games just, you know, just aim a little bit lower. People don't want to do that because whenever you have a game that doesn't look like it's running 35,000 teraflops, then people talk about that game. So the only other way to reduce the cost of making games, to keep games at $60 to $70, would be to reduce the cost of labor in making video games. Okay, well, it's possible. You could do that. But people really hate this because usually that means you have to fire people or you have to pay them less. And this hasn't really worked so far. All right, like probably like 10,000 or so people have been fired from the game industry over the last 18 months. All right, which is a huge contraction of the workforce of the gaming industry. All right, I don't think it's ever been this bad as far as like in the modern era of video games. And obviously, it's not really working. So if none of this stuff works, the only recourse would be to increase the cost of making games. And the thing is, this falls on Nintendo even more because Nintendo hasn't done the things that other companies have done. They haven't fired people, they haven't cut their pay, they haven't decreased the quality of their games, unless you're talking about Pokemon. So yeah, I mean, Nintendo hasn't done these things. So the only thing Nintendo could do is increase the price of selling games, because you can't make the games better, make the technology better, and keep your workforce and add to your workforce so that you can continue to make the games better, but also sell the games at $60.